I wasn't having engagement. I'm like, what happened? Nobody joined my live yet. Good evening, good evening. Welcome again. It's Thursday. It's one of my favorite days of the week. Of course, you know what day it is. This is Let's Talk Live with the International Mindset Maven. I am your host, Shayla Bryan. So Let's Talk focuses on how to get back dominion over your mind and your life. And we do this through dynamic teachings as well as conversations with powerful mavens who come on this platform to share their stories, to impart knowledge and wisdom into the marketplace as well. Now, my mission overall is to help women become bold, courageous, and action takers in their own lives, as well as helping women develop a winning mindset. So if you haven't caught it already, or if you didn't watch last week, this is season 2, right? So in season 2, we're talking about living your optimal life. We're talking and going through 11 series of, it's basically tips on how to live your optimal life. And we started out by really first digging as far as what does your optimal life look like? What are the issues that could be causing it? Are you the culprit of those issues that are causing you to not live an optimal life, also known in the marketplace as living your best life? So tonight we are on week 7, and tonight's conversation is kind of like, just really going from last week where we talked about visualizing your best life. What does, you live in? What does it look like for you to live an optimal life? And if you're living it, kudos to you. If you're not, why? So tonight we're going to talk about what are the benefits for those who are living that life. Certainly you may be able to connect and it might make sense what I'm talking about tonight. And for those who are still on the brink of still trying to identify what does that look like for you to really break free from the limiting beliefs and the judgments of society, and the minimalizing of the things that you desire to do, I promise you, you can go back to last week's conversation and we will be able to get you into that head start of writing down what that looks like for you and then taking action, taking steps to boldly live your best life. So what are the benefits of you living an optimal life? Well, I can tell you that there are several benefits. There are benefits that are connected to your mental wellness, your social, your emotional, your physical, and your spiritual well-being. When you decide, see, this is mostly a decision that you're going to now do everything you can within your will and your power to live your life to the best of your abilities. That is every single day, just making a decision that you are going to do something better today than you did yesterday. So there are many factors that I can say, starting out with happiness, feeling a sense of happiness. I always say happiness is a personal responsibility. You don't buy a new car to make you happy. You don't get a new pet to make you happy. You don't get married to be happy. You have to have that willingness within yourself to be happy, because happiness is a personal responsibility and a decision despite going through ups and downs. And I can say that besides just happiness alone, there's a sense of joy that you have to have. And a sense of joy just simply means that you can be serene through challenges, that you can have a cognitive and aware sense of presence whenever you're going through highs and lows of life, and still be even keel with your emotions, still be even keel with your perceptions of what is really happening. Because I also learned everything that happens to us is happening for us, but that takes a little bit of growth. For some people, it's kind of hard to see something bad happening and it could be for your good, right? It's kind of challenging to see how can a car accident happen and work out for your good, but that takes some level of spiritual maturity. But we're here to talk about what are the benefits of you living the best life that you can live for you. Okay, that's what we're talking about tonight. Now, so I would say that the last few weeks, as I have been digging and really going into this concept of living, I understand that for some women, it is a bit far-fetched to do things every single day because they don't connect to something very simple. Like, for example, I'll give you a perfect example because I always use my day-to-day as an example. When you talk about like jumping ropes, working out, exercising, walking, jogging, it is really not that far-fetched to think that just something that simple to do to add to your daily routine, how can that make a difference in your life? It can help you balance. It gives you mental clarity. Of course, it has a physical benefit to it. You can emotionally connect to the changes that you're experiencing every single day in your mood when you do something that simple, like maybe just adding physical activity to your daily routine for yourself, right? So just living your best life doesn't mean that you're going to have to just win the lotto and all of a sudden, you do a whole body makeover, a whole life makeover so that you can be happy and then be purpose in your living. Many people are just merely existing. And we see that this year has been very, very up and down for a lot of people. This year has been a very tough year, but it's also, if you're still here, it's also been a year full of lessons. It's taught you that you can overcome, right? For all of us, we have had to experience 2020 differently. But if you're still here, if you woke up today, Thursday, December 17, then I can tell you that you are an overcomer, that you were a conqueror because you made it. You're still here. So the fundamentals of living life to your best, to the most that you can live it happily for yourself. There's so many different aspects that you will see coming from living life to your best, to the best of your abilities, not what society dictates or thinks, opinions of other people that how you live your life and what you should do. Listen, you already know what you need to do. You have that knowing internally as to what you should be doing. As a lot of times it's the know-how, right? The how. I don't know how to do this. And in some cases, it might not just be the know-how. It might just need accountability. You might just need someone that will be there to support you, to help you go through those things and those processes. So the factors that we want to talk about living your optimal life is that you can set goals, right? So let's start out with setting goals and then being grateful for where you are. When we start with gratitude, I can tell you that gratitude unlocks, I would say unlocks the blessings of the day. The little things of every day is unlocked by just having gratitude. A lot of people fail to set goals, right? And they often find themselves really tired and fed up with life because they live a monotone, mundane, everyday, routine-based life. If you live a routine-based life, you're going to be stressed out every day. You're going to likely be, I would say, unhappy, uninspired every day because it's the same thing day in and day out. And that can be very unhealthy. To really live a life where you just don't do anything out of the norm. Everything that you do is just like clockwork. I've met people who live like that. And I can tell you that you can hear their conversation is really negative. 9 times out of 10, it is really hopeless conversations because individuals that don't really challenge themselves really don't ever get out of their comfort zones. They just do the same thing every day. So I hope that this conversation is helping somebody, that if it's anything else, that you can probably set yourself some goals, some personal new goals, things that you've never done, or things that you may be wanting to do for a long time. Like I've always wanted, for the past 2 years, I wanted to go and dance Kizomba, which is an African slow dance. And I finally decided on Monday that I was just going to book my class, and I went to that class, and I can tell you that it was very different. Although dancing is something I enjoy doing, the fact that just this particular dance, because you kind of dancing close to somebody, and you're being guided by someone else to move your body in a certain way, in a certain rhythm, and you have to be in tune with the music. I mean, that really challenged me to be present and to be shameless and to be open, right? So I can tell you that brought me a bit out of my comfort zone, even though it is just part of dancing, but it was a different type of dancing. So I can say that just setting goals is one of the most small things that you can do. One of the most valuable things that starts to unlock your joy and your happiness and give you perspective to live an optimal life is to set goals and then to attach gratitude to your everyday. So when you achieve something new, when you can say you have overcome an obstacle, but you've achieved something new, what that gives you is a sense of fulfillment because you did one thing new, you did it, you learned something new, you discovered yourself, and now you can say that you've done something to bring yourself out of not only the comfort zone, but you now discover that you're capable of doing more. So that should be more and more exciting when you think about adding other things or just doing that one new thing over a period of time. So now you break out of the mundane routines, right? You add dancing to your workout, to your daily routine, or you add workout to your daily routine. And that alone brings a sense of fulfillment, right? So I always make a point to be thankful. All right, be thankful. Even if you're doing something new and you mess up, I still have a sense of gratitude. Never take for granted the opportunities that are presented to you. And I also want to say that there's people that you may also want to set a goal to do something new with someone in your life. I've set goals to do something new with my kids, right? All of my kids are different people. All of them are just different people. Some like working out, some like dancing, some like eating. So I set small goals to do something with each one of my kids based on the things that they like to do. And I still find myself learning new things and discovering myself through just doing new things every day. Listen, I'm encouraging to get out of the comfort zone. That is really where I come to really be a mouthpiece from heaven, to be able to speak into someone's vessel and just say, listen, if you're doing the same things every day, it's the reason why you're miserable. It's the reason why you're unhappy. It's the reason why you just have the same defeating, self-limiting conversations and nothing really new is happening, because it's the words that we're speaking. We know that, life and death is in the power of our tongues, and the things that we speak, whether I am happy, I'm grateful, I'm joyous, I am. There's so much that gets connected to this I am. I would call ourselves, we are self-prophesying every single time we open our mouths. Every single time we open our mouths, we're self-prophesying. So it is important that you understand, to live your best life, you can really just speak the best life. You can just really call upon that thing that you believe and begin to work towards it, just doing something new. I encourage you to take chances. One of the other factors of how can you live an optimal life is to take a chance on yourself. Man, take a chance on yourself. Think about it, right? If you have any opportunity to see a new day, that's one opportunity to see a new day. It sets the course for that day, right? If you can, you have to be able to see perspective for yourself. I've learned to stop asking other people to give me confirmation of whether or not I should do a thing. I just stopped doing that. I just go out and do my own thing. Nowadays, I realize that people will not always want to see you happy. So their advice or their feedback may be like, why you want to do that? Or I don't think you should do that. Or, whatever. It would very rarely be an encouraging affirmation from other people. If you look within yourself, if you think deep inside of yourself, you already have that knowing, and you already have the answers to do whatever your heart, it is literally whispering for you to do, right? You can educate yourself. You'll be a lot more bold to take up on a new task if you educate yourself about that thing for yourself. Granted, it's good to seek wisdom in the marketplace. Granted, it's good to ask for wise counsel if there's people who have done something like skydiving, for example. More than likely, if I've never been jumping out of a plane, I love to fly, but that's a whole different thing, jumping out of a plane. So more than likely, I'll ask around for people who have already done it. I would never ask someone who's never skydived, should I do it? No, I'm just going to ask the people who jumped out of a plane and still alive, right? They're going to tell me that they felt like a near-death experience, but the idea is that they have already done that. So those are the people who I'll find more confidence asking for their feedback or their opinion. So I want to say that it is not to judge anybody, why I'm saying that you shouldn't go ask questions for somebody's opinion when it comes to a decision you want to make, to take a chance on yourself. But I'm just saying that you already have that internal knowing, just follow it. So I can tell you that living your best life, living the life that you desire, have some amazing benefits to it. Your health is benefit. That is a benefit to that. Your mental, your emotional, your physical, your spiritual. These are all the benefits that you're giving to yourself when you make a decision to go live your life based on the desires of your heart. And then most importantly, follow that knowing that you have, that internal knowing that says that you can do it. I can. I mean, I've been preaching and teaching I can affirmations for over 5 years, right? And I can tell you I'm a living proof of what the I can power of the words can do when you also connect belief to it. Okay, anybody that talks to me, anyone that has the opportunity to have conversation with me, every single time I'm asked, how are you doing? My answer is, I am grateful. So I'm always grateful. Okay, so that's how I start my conversation with anybody. That sets the tone for everything else thereafter. So let's go back to the benefits of living your best life or living an optimal life. There's always going to be a sense of pessimism, right? Because the human nature is to be negative. The human nature is to really question whether or not we can do a thing. But if you think about your current benefits, your health, your emotional and mental wellness are literally the factors that will be improved. That's the areas of your life that you will improve if you just make that decision. Studies reveal, right? I read a study, and many universities in the United States have done studies that human beings are the happiest when they're challenged. Like that means you become a happy person when you go outside of your comfort zone and you do something new and you did a good job. Like you just so happy. Nobody can tell you nothing. You try to do your hair for the first time. You try to do your makeup, ladies, for the first time, and you don't, did your thing, and you happy, right? Whatever it is that you've done and you challenge yourself and you've done that thing, you become a happier individual. These are facts. Okay, these are studies that have been done. I didn't do them, but professionals have done them, and I'm a big believer of statistics. So I can tell you that being also in a position where you enjoy, right? You enjoy the things that you're doing. Also promotes optimism. When you are in enjoyment of the activities that you're taking, the company that you have, the things that you're doing, when you can really be in a joyful state of mind when you're doing those new things, I guarantee you that you're going to promote optimism. Everybody sees me out. If you follow me for over at least 5, 6, maybe 10 days or so, you see I'm promoting jump rope. I'm just promoting. Why? Because I'm happy with the results. My body's tuned. I'm seeing the weight loss, the inches off my waist. I see myself mentally more open and available and present to my kids, to all my projects. I just seem to have more energy. Believe it or not, after I jumped rope 700 skips, you would think I'd be tired, but I'm more excited. I'm like, I just did this thing. Like I have to remind myself, girl, you just skipped 700 skips. And that alone brings me just a sense of excitement and optimism that I want to tell everybody, you need to do this thing because it feels so good to do it. And then it improves your quality of life. It improves your energy, and everything around you begins to be more magnetized towards you. Let me tell you, we are vibrating people. So maybe a lot of women, and once again, I want to thank you to the ladies who may be watching this live and probably come back on the replay. I want to thank you ladies again personally. Every week I have to thank the ladies who go straight into my inbox and tell me that they're seeing the benefits of doing the things that I'm encouraging to do. They're also following the activities that I do, and they do it on their own time. And this is throughout the country. This is a nationwide impact that I'm talking. So I get reached out by people all over this country, and even some international women who have reached out to me and said, I want to jump ropes with you. I want to read this book with you. I want to, watch this with you, or whatever it is that I'm doing. And by me promoting these things that are bringing me joy and happiness, and are increasing my quality of life, inadvertently, it is doing the same thing for women all over the place. So what greater benefit is that for you to be doing something you love doing, that you enjoy doing, and other people are tagging along and also getting the happy bug, also feeling a sense of fulfillment, also have an increased health benefit, mental wellness, emotional stability, spiritual maturity. I mean, think about how much more purpose can you have. You're not doing anything different or new. You're just challenging yourself, and that alone, it is reciprocating onto the ambient that you are in, the space that you're in, and you're now increasing other people's lives. That's why I come on to do these weekly talks, because I can tell you that I'm living proof and I'm a testimony that I've gotten out of my own way. And living positively and unapologetically has now created a sense of confidence for women all over the world, literally through these platforms of social media. My optimism, my life, living fulfillment every single day. I'm living fulfilled every single day. Now, I'm not going to say I don't have some rainy days or cloudy days, because I'll be lying to you. There'll be some gloomy days. There's things that happen sometimes, and I'm not expecting those things to happen. But let me tell you, because I have a sense of optimism, because I'm in a state that I feel that I'm well, my spirit is well, my mental is well, I can now pause and I can process the challenges, and I can now really take an opportunity to assess how to handle, right? How to handle those difficult times. So my stress level has gone down. I feel like I'm really adding more longevity to my personal life. And I feel like I'm much more of an achiever. I'm an achiever. I achieve things every single day. And I'm a realist as well, right? I'm just real with the things that I can do and the things that I won't do. I'm just real with myself. And I ask everyone, always ask these ladies, listen, do your best. If I skip 1,000 and you can skip 250, that's your best. Kudos to you. We did this. You just can't go by my 1,000 because I'm on a whole different level. But you're on the journey alongside with me. Does that make sense? So I want to encourage you that you really sit down and assess the benefits to your personal life if you just make a decision to just live it fully, right? And by you doing your thing, you encourage other people. That's just what I'm saying. I'm just sitting here being a messenger of the good news, right? I've had women who engage constantly through my social media, and I am accountable to these women. They know I inbox them, I will text them, I will check in with them, and they see me consistent. So I know what I do is not just about me, but it's the other people who are watching. Granted, there's a lot of viewers as well. There's a lot of people who want to just watch you. They want to watch you see you fail, but they're going to keep watching. They're just going to keep watching because I'm going to keep going. You know what I mean? So I'm just here to really encourage, impart, empower, inspire, whatever word it is that suits your spirit, that you can live your best life, man. You can live an optimal life. Just be encouraged to make a decision every day to engage actively in goal setting, right? And get educated about that thing that you wrote down, and then have an accountability, right? And then you will see slowly how the society that you are part of begins to now praise you for you being bold enough and courageous enough to take action and show up for yourself. I once heard a man said, you set yourself on fire and the world will come and watch you burn. I'm going to say that again because I don't think somebody caught that. You set yourself on fire and the world will come and watch you burn. So that simply means that as long as you're on the sidelines, you're out of sight, out of mind. But if you're out here just trailblazing, if you're out here just conquering, if you're out here just pushing and pressing and doing, people are watching and talking, and that's okay. You're not just doing to give anybody something to talk about. You're doing because you believe that what you're doing is for you. It's for your mental, your spiritual, your emotional, and your physical well-being. And that alone already is a contribution. You are occupying space on this earth and you're leaving something behind. You will be remembered by some people. Maybe not a whole lot, but you will be remembered by some people. I always tell my children, if tomorrow if I'm blessed and God shows me tomorrow and gives me breath tomorrow, I will always make it a better day than today. So that I know that my best days are always ahead of me, but my greater days will be behind me. So I can tell you the most important thing for me, talking to my children about themselves also, following my footsteps, is I'm just that mom, man. I'm just going to show them. I don't do a lot of talking to my kids about what they should do and how they should do it. I'd rather do my thing and I show them what happens, right? It's called manifesting. Manifestation is just a combination of your thinking and your doing. And then there's evidence, there's proof. There's proof. So the benefits of you living your best life, there will be proof in your health, in all sense of the word, man. Now you'll be living a happier life, a joyful life, a peaceful life when you make those decisions. You live to the fullest, and you leave your children, if you are a parent watching this live or the replay, you leave your children a greater legacy, which is to have an identity for themselves. We all hear all the time about leaving a legacy, leaving your children an inheritance. Great. I'm pretty sure that biblically it's great to have monetary and tangible things to leave behind, but there's nothing more powerful than leaving your children a sense of their own identity, teaching them how to find themselves and find the divine within themselves and be empowered within themselves so that they don't be seeking it outwardly because they will never find it. Okay, so that is my legacy to my children. I may never know at what point I will become a millionaire and leave my children some type of monetary inheritance, but I'm here today, and where I am today, I'm working to leave them something way more valuable and precious, which is an identity in Christ. You know, who they are in Christ and whose they are in Christ. I would take that over anything. Okay, so let's remain productive. Let's continue, ladies, for those who are on the journey with me, who are physically getting out of their way, who are mentally and emotionally and spiritually, taking on the opportunity to just do the thing, man. Just do the thing, and then just show your courage and your boldness to the marketplace, because that's how you awaken those who are watching you, when you show up for yourself, right? When you show up for yourself, problems come, problems go. My mentor once told me, Miss Brian, in life, you either in a problem, coming out of a problem, or going into a problem. So me talking about living your best life is not negating the fact that there will be ups and downs or challenges. Me talking about living your best life is saying, despite you being challenged, despite you going through a hardship, despite you going through an obstacle, despite having rainy days, I'm just saying, man, despite, you still show up for yourself. It changes everything when you make a decision to live in this moment, to live right now, to live. I'm talking about to feel your heartbeat, to hear the sounds of everything that's around you, to really be present, to really feel the blood that just flows through your veins, to just be present. Make that decision to live, right? To live and get out of your way. So you, instead of being in a miserable state of mind, you're going to be in a positive, optimistic, fulfilling, and empowering state of mind by simply ridding yourself of everything and anything that can potentially be a trigger, that can potentially be a stronghold, anything at all that can prevent you from making any decision to live a healthy, balanced life. You have to rid yourself of those things. And everybody knows what they are. In a few weeks into this season, I talked about what are those causes. Definitely go to my YouTube channel and you will see that I talked about the causes of why you might not be living your best life. And some of those causes were some relationships. We're not going to go there tonight because it's already talked about. So go to my YouTube channel and find that clip. You would hear the information about what to do if there are relationships, if it's money, whatever you may be going through. But tonight we're talking about the benefits of living your best life. So with that said, I hope this conversation serves somebody. I hope that tonight, if you're live or you are on the replay, let me tell you that you are here today. You have an opportunity still, whatever time zone you're in, whatever area you're in, there's still something that you said you were going to do. You put it off, but I promise you, sis, if you make that decision and you do that thing, let me tell you, you're going to be shocked. You're going to be awakened. You are going to be empowered, encouraged within yourself. And you outwardly will begin to share the optimism that everything is possible so long that you make up your mind. The mind is so powerful, man. That's why I really do these talks about mindset, because the mind is so powerful. It is stronger than the body. Let me tell you, when you are doing something that requires to mentally give you all, your body has no choice but to submit to that and just do it. So with that said, I'm going to just encourage ladies, please do yourself a huge favor. Do not wait until 2021. We don't do New Year's resolutions. We do changes of lifestyle, right? I teach no New Year's resolution, only changes of lifestyle. Because why do I say no New Year's resolution? Because you have to wait for that clock to hit. December 31st comes and then that clock hits January 1st. But are you promised that day? No. What you have is right now and today. That's why I say the change of lifestyle can be a decision that you make right now, to stop eating the candy, to get into the gym, to drink more water, whatever that might be for you. You can do that today. That's why I said we are encouraging, and I am teaching, and I am really inspiring you to make a decision today to change your lifestyle and not wait for a year to start over where you will do the same thing, because you didn't change it today. More than likely, you won't change it then. With that said, this is your international mindset maven, Shayla Bryan. Thank you again for joining me until next week, Thursday. It has been a blessing and a pleasure. Have a blessed night wherever you are. Good night.